This edition of the Ridley Report is brought to you by hempvideo.com.
I'm recording now. Basically what's happening is NPD they're sort of doing a series of roundups around the state of people who were at the marijuana demonstration on March 20th. Are you familiar with that incident?
I am familiar with the gathering.
Yes. What's happening over the last couple days is that NPD has basically issued warrants for the arrest of various people who were there, not on marijuana charges, but on disorderly conduct charges, for either standing in the street for a few seconds or standing in front of the police vehicle for a few seconds or talking to the police loudly, that kind of thing. And I just was curious as to whether you support continuing arrests over this incident that happened on the 20th.
Well, as I stated at the beginning, I would have to have more information to exactly how and why they secured the warrants to be able to make a statement on that.
Yeah, that's fair. Did you have any concerns with regard to the way the activists handled themselves that day? I don't want to make a comment because I don't have enough information on it. Do you think, that it's a bad thing for people to have marijuana civil disobedience in Nashua?
Civil disobedience?
Correct. Yes. You say yes?
For civil disobedience.
Right. Would you say that was a bad thing? Or
I think they have the right to their mind and have an opinion on it, yes.
Oh, so you don't have an objection necessarily to civil disobedience?
Civil disobedience, yes, no.
I still can't understand your response. Maybe it's my phone. You're saying yes, it's okay to do civil disobedience?
No.
No, it's not okay to do civil disobedience.
That is correct.
Okay, sorry. I think I just had a signal issue there, but I did want to make sure I was clear on what your position was. So you'd prefer that people just use the legal route to try and get it legalized?
Correct.
Do you personally support marijuana legalization?
I do not.
Okay. Do you think that what do you think is the line that didn't? I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Well, I think the decriminalization up to a certain point is something to definitely be looked into and addressed. Legalizing it altogether, I'm against.
Okay. When Nashua government arrests someone, for instance, on a victimless crime or allegedly victimless crime charge like this, do you have a sense of the conditions in which the prisoners are held?
I do not, and I think it's stated when the Nashua government arrests, civil arrests, it's the Nashua department, if you will.
Okay, so
none of the elected officials are out arresting anybody.
Right, yeah. Do the elected officials, if they chose, have the power to make that kind of thing stop?
If we deem it necessary, we could, yes.
What would be the means that would be used to make something like that happen? If
we'd have to create an ordinance to back up our position on either not arresting for that reason or whatever, but I'm sure I have the utmost trust and faith in the competency of our police department, and especially our police chief, Chief Conley, that he's moving forward on things that are warranted.
So you would say that this is appropriate for this kind of arrest to be a priority as opposed to maybe arrests that might be perceived as having more of a victim?
Well, I think I'm going to stick with my original statement that I would have to have more information to be able to either make an opinion, make a statement or an opinion or back something up, because I'm not quite sure how these warrants were obtained, and what information they have, so I can't even make a statement to that regard.
Oh, okay. Have you had a chance to see any of the videos of the incident on YouTube?
No, I have not.
Okay. I guess if you Google it, you'll find them. They're hard to miss. Let me see. Well, what do you think should happen if marijuana demonstrations continue at that location?
I think, as you stated earlier, I think if they do it legal in a civil manner, they have every right to continue doing that.
But if they're smoking, then they should be going to jail, or?
Well, didn't we say civil is legal? It's not legalized, so
Yeah.
it's currently illegal.
Right. Okay.
So, I mean, if I was, it's just like if I was 18 and I thought the drinking age should be lowered and I was drinking on a town green, well, you know what? It's not legal yet, then you're underage.
Okay.
So it's the same type of premise. It's not legal to possess marijuana. Never mind to be consuming it.
Okay, Alderman, I really appreciate your time.
And I hope I apologize that I'm not fully up to par on this, but so the lack of comment is because I have a lack of information. So
Right, it's new. It's just happening. But if you have anything else that you'd like to add?
nope, that would be all.
Sorry. Okay, I'm recording now. MPD has been basically, they're doing, I guess they're sort of following up on some arrests that they made on March 20th by making further arrests. There was a big marijuana demonstration on March 20th that you might have heard of in downtown Nashua. They made a couple arrests that day. But now what's happening is they've been going around the state and arresting people for disorderly conduct charges for, I guess, whatever they did during the demonstration. So there've been an arrest in Winchester. There was an arrest in Manchester. Are you familiar with any of this?
No, I'm not familiar with it. This is all news to me.
Were you aware of the marijuana demonstrations on March 20th?
Yes, I was up on Library Hill.
Correct. Were you content with the police response that day, or?
That is totally the law. That they're just doing their job. Whether I agree with what they did or whatever, did they get carried away? Possibly, but the law is the law, and they're just doing their duty, their sworn duty. And I may not agree with it, but until somebody could change that law and make marijuana legal, so be it.
Okay. Do you think that continued arrests weeks later on disorderly conduct charges, would you support that?
I don't comment on that right now because I don't know the facts or what is happening. I didn't see anything in the paper today about it.
Oh, okay.
But, I'll have to hold my judgment on that one until I read up on it.
Have you seen any of the videos of the event?
I haven't seen anything.
Oh, okay.
Nothing.
Okay. Had you heard of, I guess you probably haven't if you hadn't heard about this happening. I guess Manchester police, when they went after one of the activists in Manchester, they actually pulled firearms on him and pointed them at him. Do you think that would be an appropriate thing to do on a disorderly conduct charge?
Well, I don't know the facts and figures. I haven't read anything, so I don't know how much force they have to use, or did the one they arrested resist arrest? So, I mean, this is a police matter. Until I read and I can't make a decision on anything like that.
Okay.
I have to know the facts first.
Understandable. Did you support the use, or would you say you supported the deployment of a German Shepherd on the demonstrators on March 20th?
That one there is, well, it's police work. I mean, I don't know. They got their job to do. I mean, I'm not saying they did it right or whatever, but and I don't know how bad the demonstration was. If there was a lot of resisting arrests, no, I guess I can say no comment on that one.
Okay. I'm sorry if these questions seem a little bit leading. I tried to come up with some questions that that were more sympathetic to the police. I didn't have much luck. I try to when I can. But what was your take on the allegation that cops singled out the first arrestee because he was black?
Got no comment on that. I am not no comment on that one. Black, white, yellow, it don't make no difference.
Right.
Not,
yeah.
They're doing their job.
Is there a police action that you would object to, at least in theory?
I take it one case at a time. I mean, I got to get all the facts and figures before I make a decision. I mean, it's a tough job, being an alderman and knowing what those guys go through.
Yeah.
I mean, when they go into a domestic violence type of thing, they're putting their life on their hands. I'm not saying that they're all angels. That they go by the book every now and then, but like I say, it's got to be a case-on-case basis that would make my decision.
There was one other question. But do you say there's a difference? Do you perceive a difference between marijuana rights disobedience and the traditional civil rights disobedience of the '60s, with Martin Luther King and so forth?
I got no comment on that. I mean, no comment.
Okay. I can't think of anything else to ask you. Can you think of anything else that you'd like to add, Alderman?
No, I think that sums it up.
Oh, one other question. Do you have any sense of the conditions in which people who are arrested in Nashua, the conditions that they are held in?
You mean the jails?
Right.
I visited the jails more than a few times. I mean, the jail is a jail. I mean, they're not. You're not going to find a bed in there, and you're not going to find a jail is a jail. I've seen a jail in Hudson. I'm not saying that I've been in them. I said I visited them. But I mean, they're not. I mean, they're a jail. I mean, what do you expect to have a TV in there and a computer?
Yeah, I appreciate that you visited these places. I would bet that not every alderman has. So.
Well, visited them. I don't mean I've been in them.
Yeah, that's right. Okay. Well, I appreciate your time, Alderman. Like I said, I'm sorry to call you on a Sunday, but that's when it's happening. So.
All right.
You take care.
All right.
Okay. Bye.
Bye.
Drug warriors don't like hempvideo.com, but you will.
You're not get arrested. You don't get out of the car, right? Take your pussy.
If it's created by a New Hampshire drug felon, it can't be all bad. hempvideo.com